Welcome everybody. Welcome to Felix the Reaper review. Felix the Reaper is a puzzle game with a bit of story development that has a certain style to it. So let's hop into a new game and see what the game has to offer us.
Well, Felix, on your way to your first working day as a field reaper, As any good instructor of the Ministry of Death, I'll be guiding you through these final steps into full field reaper territory. By the way, about your little quirk, as we've discussed, some of the other reapers find it somewhat, unnerving. So, while you're in the field, do try to keep the dancing to a minimum. Of course, there's your unusual motivation for becoming a field reaper. It's not exactly forbidden, but we have been through this, Felix. Being in love is not conducive to the kind of work we do at the Ministry of Death, especially since the object of your affection works for the Ministry of Life. I know you think your missions will provide a chance to run into her in the mortal realm. Where there's death, there must be life and all that. But you do know that you two are an impossible match. Right, Felix? Well, don't say I didn't warn you. All right, enough of all that. Your first mission awaits, Felix. Classic scenario, a hunting accident. Now, if only I could find the full briefing. Hang on, Felix, sorry. Well, I guess we don't need a formal briefing for a case as simple as this one. Stay tuned for more instructions once you've reached the mortal realm, Felix, and enjoy the passage.
So that was the cutscene. As you see, the game has very amazing cutscenes. And now we're gonna see the tutorial for the first time.
I suppose I have to improvise a bit without the briefing. I'll just try this, I suppose. Oh, remarkable. Oh, here comes the televator. Greetings, Felix. Are you ready? I guess that's what you call keeping it to a minimum then. Just go here.
Okay, so this is our tutorial. As you start the game starts you off with a tutorial, so it teaches you how to move.
You've got moves, that's for sure. Try here, that's right. You cannot move into the sun. You've been paying attention, Felix. Go here now. Wait just a moment, please. Well, would you look at that? Go here. Oh, we forgot about the sundial, of course. Just a moment. And pop. Stay where you are and press push on the sundial, Felix. Great. I'll just check if you've been paying attention. Now, can you get here?
Okay, so this is basically still the tutorial, and the game teaches you how the game works, basically. So the idea of this game is that you're gonna have certain tasks, say move one object to another location, and the important thing for you is to not end up in the sun. So if we press Z and then press space, that way we can see what the environment would look like if we switched or clicked push. So by clicking Z plus space, you're basically gonna see how everything is gonna look like without actually making the mistake. The mistake would be you ending up in the sun, which is not something you wanna do. But if you just click anywhere in sun, you won't be able to move there because your character can only move in the shadows. So that's what we're gonna try. So we're gonna click space to switch the sun, to switch the shades. And there we go.
Well done. Let's get down to business, shall we? Wonderful. Now go to that skinny mortal and, click. Sorry. Pick him up.
Okay, so here's our first objective. So our objective is to take this guy, and the game is gonna tell us where we have to take this guy. So we're just gonna move here, switch the shades, and basically click the object.
Great. And now, wait for it, wait for it. There you are. Now, drag and drop. Just do whatever you need to do to get that human into the lethal position right over there.
Okay, so this is where we have to take this human, aka the object. So if we switched the sun here, then we would end up in the sun, which is not something we wanna do. So I'm doing this by holding down Z, and if I click space once more, we're gonna end up in the same spot in a shade. So let's make our way here, cause we have cover from both sides. Gonna check if we still are gonna end up in cover, which is the case. So we're gonna release our Z button, and let's move here, and by simply dragging the human here, we're gonna put him down to complete the objective.
You, Felix, I'm impressed. Now get out. Your first human lifetime count is about to expire.
And that's the tutorial.
Now let's see what happens when time unfreezes here. Very well done, I must admit. That dancing, cuddly Felix, and... Oh, what's this? Oh, no, this is bad. Can you hear me from the televator, Felix? I guess you can. Get back to the office immediately and I'll have the right, let's say, another briefing waiting for you.
Okay, so this is where we leave the tutorial and we start our campaign. Chapter 1.
I understand you've received the proper paperwork and made your preparations most diligently, of course. Medieval Europe and the 1980s New York. Some mix they gave you, huh? Well, let's get on with it. Okay, we'll just move on from the previous little exercise. Let's forget about that. Now, on to your first real job. I'll talk to you in the mortal realm again.
Okay, so as you can see, we are done with our tutorial. The very first chapter was the tutorial, and the chapter 2 is basically gonna be our first main mission.
The televator traffic is terrible. The Ministry of Life televators are a nuisance, jamming up the space-time continuum. We have to... Oh! Here we are. Welcome, Felix. Now, let's do it properly this time. Always check out what happened when time froze.
Okay, so our mission is to basically take the deer and put him in front of the spear so that we can kill him.
That's for me. I have to get on with other things, you know. I'll leave you on your own now. Stay in the shadows, and good day to you, Felix.
Okay, so we can turn the screen with our right mouse button if we hold it down. And we can move with our left click. So our goal is to take the deer and put it over here. So let's check the shadows. So we have to move here. And when you make the right move, the game actually lets you know that you made the right move. So at the start everything is gonna be very simple, not complicated. Let's move over here, switch the sun again, and simply gonna drag this guy over here.
Felix, old boy, Betty can't hold you back at the end of each assignment. You can't expect to run into her at every turn of events. At least expire the right human first, then maybe... Now get in there. Great work, and everything went according to plans and regulations. Just lovely. This makes an instructor proud, it really does. I believe he'll be fine on his own now. I will only be checking in every so often.
Alright, so there we go. Off to the next mission. So, as you can see, at the start the game shows you what happened and what you should do. So our goal is to basically hang the head of the deer onto this hook. So, as we progress through the game, it's gonna get more and more complicated, and everything is not gonna be as obvious as it is at the start. So, in the first few chapters, the game is gonna give you hints. You can also get more hints by clicking H, and if you want the end goal, you can click J by default. So the game is gonna show you what your end goal is. So let's click this and see what happened. So as we get a notification, we did everything right for now. So our idea is to get this over here and hang it onto this hook. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, so our hint shows us to go over here. Okay, let's switch the sun, get the head, get back, switch it back, and right now we have to move over this bridge, but the way is blocked. So let's click this once more. See if we are okay here. We are. So we're gonna release our Z button and simply gonna mount the deer. And by the way, if you make any mistakes, you can always see this here in the end graph once you finish your chapter. So it's gonna show you how many times you got caught in sun. And if you see the check marks, that means you did those things, those particular things right or perfectly. And if you took any extra actions, or if you did anything wrong, or if it took you really long time, then you're gonna see these crosses instead, which is something you can improve on. So, off to the next chapter. Okay, so our goal is to move the barrel, the beer barrel, so that our boy here can have one more drink. Okay, so our goal is to grab this barrel here and take it over here. So let's see how we can do that. Check if we're safe. We're not safe here. So we have to make our way to this barrel somehow. So if we do this, we should be safe. Let's move over here. Okay, we're safe. So in order to make our way to this barrel, we have to make our way here somehow. So we need something to give us cover. Say, for example, this item here. So we have to grab this somehow. So even if we switch the shades here, we still are not gonna be in a cover. So we need something to provide us cover onto this block here. So we have to do that by, for example, making this horse move the cart over here so that it creates shade to us, so that we can grab this item, move it somewhere here, so that this item can provide shade to us, so that we are able to grab the barrel and take it all the way back. So let's do that by making our way back. Move the cart. And now we can make our way to this item. Grab it. So the game is giving us hint what we can do now. So let's continue. Let's make our way here. Okay, now so currently there is no way for us to make our way here so that we can put down the item that's gonna provide us cover to the barrel. So we have to revert this card coming here, which we can do by making our way back. Do this. Now we can go back. Do the exact same thing. Let's move here. Okay, so if we put down this item here, now we have full cover here. We can grab the barrel, go here, if we're gonna be safe here, and simply drag the barrel over here. As we can see, the game has really funny and amazing cutscenes. So that's something we can appreciate about this game, because this is not a big game, it's one of the indie games, and the fact that small games like this can have this amazing gameplay and really enjoyable and funny cutscenes, it's really awesome. So off to the next mission. Okay, so our goal is to fill the barrel with these rocks. So let's see if we can do that. By the way, so if you want some hints, if you want the game to show you next step, a hint or something, we can also see a timer here if you wanna do a speed run of some sort, and if you wanna see how many mistakes you made and such, you can look at this graph over here by simply clicking this thing here. Also, you could adjust the music and the sounds, etc. And if you wanna watch the cutscenes again, we could always do this, and the game is basically gonna replay the cutscene real quick so that we can remember what happened and what we have to do. Okay, so we're not safe here. Okay, so what can we do here? Okay, so the rocks are over here, and we have to take them here and put them in this barrel. So how can we do that? Let's grab the rocks. And this is the trigger that's gonna make the cart move. Okay, so simply by making this cart move, we can move over here, which is gonna allow us to grab this item so that we can use it to create shade elsewhere. So let's see how we can do this. Okay, so somehow we have to make it so that either of these blocks share the shade so that when we switch the sun, we are in cover no matter the circumstances, whether the shade is going from right to left or from up to down. And we have to take these rocks. So what happens? Let's check for a second here. What happens when we do this? Okay, so this is shared. That means let's put these rocks here for a sec. Let's put this over here. Grab the rocks and see what's gonna happen. Oh, so the way is actually still blocked, so we have to make this card move somehow. So that means we have to take this other item and put it on the trigger. So let's leave the rocks here for a sec. So somehow we have to make our way to here. So let's see if this works. Okay, so now we have a clear path to this item. Okay, let's grab it. See if we're gonna be safe now. Okay, and let's put it over here. Okay, so we are not safe here. So let's grab this item. See if it works if we put it here. So we're gonna be safe. Okay, so now we can safely make our way here. Put these stones in the barrel and we should be okay. There we go. So as we can see, the game gets more and more complicated. And basically, the difficulty rises over our progression throughout the chapter. Off to the next one. Okay, so we have to somehow put the deer head onto this guy. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So somehow we have to put this deer head on this guy. It gets quite complicated once you advance through the levels. Everything becomes not as obvious. So let's see what we can do. So the hint is to take the barrel and put it over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have to grab this item and put it over there. Obviously, you could always just do everything on your own if you don't wanna spoil anything and if you wanna enjoy the game, which is something I do recommend. So I guess the idea is for us to block the path of this cart so that we can make our way here. Okay, so we have to take this barrel and put it over here somehow. Okay, that seems pretty simple. Okay, we should be safe over here. Let's do another switch. Move to the save spot. And put it over here and see what happens.
Impressive. But no Betty. Theoretically, this is where she should appear. Well, better luck in the next round. Now, get out.
Again, I have to point out that the devs have done really good job with the cutscenes and the gameplay. It's really enjoyable to play through the game and experience everything. It's really amazing. Okay, so that's the first chapter. So we're not gonna play through the second chapter. So once you have beaten each chapter, each level, then you are able to see these things. So by simply clicking this, you can activate the hard mode of that level. So let's go into the hard mode of second level and see how hard it actually is. So as we can see, the map is not the same. So nothing's the same except our goal. Our goal is to again take the deer and put it in front of this spear, which I guess would be over here. By the way, these coins here, these are something extra that you can grab. So when we did the normal version of this level, everything was really simple, really obvious, whereas on hardcore, you don't have any hints, so there's no way for you to cheat unless you already know what to do. So other than that, you have to figure everything out on your own. So we have to somehow grab this deer and put him over here. So on hardcore, by the way, you're gonna need every single available item. So somehow, first we have to bring this item from here to somewhere nearby this deer so we can create path cover for us to take the deer and put him over here. So let's make our first goal to grab this item. Okay, there we go. Okay, so somehow we have to grab this and take it. But let's see how we can do that. Maybe this can provide enough cover for us. Okay, so now we are safe to grab this. Okay, so we do have the deer here. Okay, so let's see. So now we have to make it so that we can move this deer over there. So let's put him over here for a second. Or actually, let's put him right here for easier access. So let's grab this because we are safe here. Put it here so that we're safe no matter what. So what can we do here? Okay, so the tree is providing us cover all the way here. Okay, so somehow this should be here. So say, for example, that we would have this item over here. That means okay, so I see. So we need to cover this spot because currently our deer is covering this block. So we either have to have something standing here or here so that we can cover this block. Because if we take this deer and switch, we don't have a passage onto this block, so we have to cover this somehow. So we have to grab this. So let's see how we can do that. So if we take this now, not safe. So here's something we can do here. We need 3 items, and by using 3 items we have to somehow make it so that we can stay in the shades of 2 items and we can move the 3rd item tile by tile, block by block, so that we are always in the cover. So let's see if we can use the cover of both of these 2 items and the deer so that we can at the same time move all of these 3 items one by one, so that we can position them somehow, so that we can have one over here, the other over here, and then hopefully we can move our deer all the way here. So let's put this back here for a sec. Grab our deer and see what we can do. Okay, let's see. So how can we do this? It's not really obvious sometimes. Okay, let's put this here for a sec. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now we're moving. Because we're safe here. So let's put it here. Switch the shades. So now we need a cover in order to take this item. So let's put the deer here. Switch the shades from left to right. We are safe. So we are covered here no matter what. Which means we can grab the deer whenever. So let's put this here. See if we're safe. Grab the deer. Check if we're safe. Okay, let's leave it here. See if we are safe. Okay. Alright, so switch the shades. Okay, so somehow we still have to move this item. So we still need some cover. Let's see how we can do that. So let's do this real quick. Grab this. Switch. Leave it here. Switch once more. Okay, so now we're not safe. Unless... Quick switch. So let's see, what did this change? Okay, so let's see if we can move one of these items to here. Alright. Okay, now we're making progress. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we have to take this item and move it over here so that we have cover up till this block. So then we can switch and make our way all the way here. So let me see how we can do that real quick. So we should be safe here if we grab this. It's not really obvious, is it? So let's see if this is gonna work. So if we switch now, we are not safe. Okay, I think we still need to use our third item to somehow position one of these items somewhere here. So let's take this back. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's leave this over here real quick. Okay, there we go. Now we are making progress. So now we just need to take this, swap it with the deer. Okay, there we go. And that's it. So as you can see, hardcore is a lot more difficult than your normal mode. Okay, so that's basically the game. So as we can see, if you wanna just play through the game, you can just do your normal mode and experience the story and see how amazing it is. Or you could try your luck in the hard mode, and if you are into difficult puzzles, you could always do that. As you can see, if you go hard mode, the puzzles are really challenging, and if you are into that, I think you're gonna have a really fun time exploring and doing the puzzles. Okay, so that's the review, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.